In today's video, I am going to be teaching you how to move like this with the Neon Ninja. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to another JMP video. I'm your host JonNario, and today I'm going to be talking about another movement speed video. Yes, this is pretty much like my 4th, 5th, 6th time. I don't remember how many times I've already done a movement speed or speed farming related video. And yes, this is going to be another one. But this is going to be more of a frequently asked question. And that is going to be what type of movement speed build that I'm rocking on the Neon Ninja. So a lot of people ask me this question a lot. And let me just tell you, this is one of my more frequently asked questions when I was just streaming at the event or just grinding with this character, or in general. Like whenever they see me just run around with the Neon Ninja, they usually just ask me what build do I use on the character. And I usually just always answer with standard movement speed equipment, you know, movement speed weapon, a hat and face with a movement speed banner. Well, at that point I didn't have a movement speed banner. I was rocking without movement speed banner because of the event, you know, standard movement speed buff ally in animated jug, fire disc trailblazing, and personal soundbar subclass. So I'm just going to go over real quick. You're going to see the have weapon and face right there, banner, animated jug, trail, fire disc, and vampire vanquisher. Pretty much that's essentially my build. It's just the standard movement speed equipment or the standard speed farming equipment. But why am I going so fast with the Neon Ninja? How am I just maintaining ridiculous amounts of movement speed without the need of going backwards? Because this is a very hot topic that I do get with a lot of players, that you actually have to play on the Neon Ninja backwards, which is not true. You don't have to play with the Neon Ninja backwards. I mean, you can, it will help you out, but you don't need to play backwards on this character. You can just play just moving forward, and you're still going to move ridiculously quickly. And in some cases, it's just going to be even better for you. You can just move around like this and just move really quickly, just clearing out dungeon. Then again, as you're going to see, that's essentially 2 over 10 dungeons just immediately. And right here, I'm almost in another dungeon with almost full energy. And I can just, again, destroy this dungeon, move around, and just keep going forward over and over again without the need of just going 100% backwards on this character in order to move really quickly. So what are going to be the reasonings of how do I do this, or why do I do certain things? And that is essentially the topic of today's video. This is an unscripted live commentary, by the way, so I'm going to be very rambly. So excuse me for this video being pretty long. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be really long anyways, but if it is long, excuse me, I do talk a lot. Anyway, what are going to be some of the things that I personally like to do on the Neon Ninja in order to move rather quickly without the need of just going backwards? So there's 2 things that actually just allow me to move around really quickly. Aside from obviously the movement speed equipment, there are 2 abilities that are very important. Number 1 is going to be the shadow flip. Shadow flip is obviously a no-brainer. It's your movement speed buff. That's how you essentially just get backwards momentum, and that's how a lot of people just, you know, like this with the Neon Ninja, so they can just move really quickly. And the other thing is going to be your dodge. Yes, your dodge is a vital thing for your Neon Ninja to move around really quickly like this one. Knowing how to do a dodge is going to be very beneficial for you in particular, because you're going to see you can actually just get some insane amount of movement speed on this character without the need of actually just going backwards, and just properly utilizing your shadow flips and your dodge. It's absolutely brilliant. If you see me just use the Neon Ninja a lot, you quickly can see that I love using the dodge on the Neon Ninja. That's just because the Neon Ninja it has one of the better dodges in the game. It's short animation, and it doesn't lower your movement speed by quite a lot, and it's really good. But the reason why both dodging and shadow flipping are so important, that's just because both the shadow flip and the dodge, that was a terrible shuriken by the way, the shadow flip and the dodge actually is the distance is very dependent on your actual movement speed. So as you're going to see right around here, you're going to see that my distance on the regular shadow flip is, you know, this distance, give or take, which is around 9 to 11 blocks in distance. I actually did check on my clock before actually recording this video, but yeah, it's around 9 to 11 blocks in distance, depending on how long you hold down the shadow flip. But if you actually activate something like Trailblazing Emblem, you're going to see that actually went even farther away, which is around, if I do recall, 13 to 16 blocks in distance, or give or take, which can just be incremented by even further the more movement speed that you do have. And one important thing that you may or may have not noticed is in regards to jump shadow flipping. So you essentially can do a jump shadow flip to gain even more distance, because if you do press forward while you're jumping, you actually do get a little bit of boost moving forward. That's why most other players that are just speed farming, they're always jumping in the air. Like myself, I actually am always jumping. That's why I value like jumping around a whole lot. That's just because while jumping, you actually do gain a little bit of extra boost moving forward, which is the same thing with a shadow flip. Since shadow flip boosts you backwards and a jump boosts you forward, you're going to see that if you do a shadow flip, again with trail, you're going to see that the distance is covered a little bit more, and you're going to see that the movement speed just keeps getting more and more and more. Like the distance keeps getting more and more and more the more movement speed buff that you do have. So in stuff like this, you're going to see that you can just get insane amounts of movement speed just by performing a jump shadow flip. And yes, this does also apply with the dodge. So regular dodging gives you a, this distance, but if you apply a jump, you're going to see that the dodge gives, it keeps moving forward. And the more movement speed that you do have, you're going to see that the dodge also boosts your movement speed by a lot. You're going to see, look at that big boost right there just by having a lot of movement speed stacked. And you can actually just fully utilize those two combined, and you're going to get insane amounts of burst movement speed. This is an insanely good tactic. I've known this for a couple of years already, but I never actually made a whole video dedicated to it, and I always do explain, dodging is very, very important, but I never explain why. And this is why. It's very dependent on movement speed, and you can just get insane amounts of movement speed just by performing a shadow flip into a dodge. The thing is, the dodge is dependent on where you're looking on your character, not so much of where you're aiming. So you can actually just perform that really, really quickly on something like this, and yeah, you can actually just perform a shadow flip dodge immediately, a jump shadow flip into a jump dodge, and you're going to get insane amounts of movement speed. That's essentially how do I personally use the Neon Ninja. I personally like to do a shadow flip into a dodge immediately. And there's also another thing, that obviously if you don't want to just turn the camera around in order to get the insane boost, you can actually just jump and shadow flip as well, and you're barely going to see a movement speed loss, which is going to be even less apparent the more movement speed that you do have, which is just going to be like this. As you see, if I actually do have a lot of movement speed buff active at the same time, while doing a shadow flip dodge forward, you're going to see that I'm barely losing movement speed. And if you want to go even further, you can actually just do this and immediately just jump dodge. And then again, you can just go ahead, jump shadow flip, jump dodge, and you're going to see that your character is going to barely lose movement speed, and you get the whole benefit just by looking forward. You can just speed momentum like crazy with the character. Not only can you just speed momentum, you can also see where you're going essentially, and you can just, oh yeah, that's a dungeon that I can go for. All right, so I can just go ahead, look, essentially just plan my strategy before finishing out the dungeon, before getting into the dungeon, rather than just doing backflip before getting into the dungeon and not knowing where you're going. And you're going to see that that's essentially what you do. Jumping quite a lot, doing a jump flip into a jump dodge is insanely powerful, because it actually gives you so many forward momentum that you can just move really, really quickly. And here's the thing, you can actually just use the jump dodge to a full effect on certain characters. Like for example, the Shadow Hunter. We all know the Shadow Hunter is going to be an extremely popular character post update for console, and it's already a popular character for PC. If you didn't know, the Shadowhunter gains a movement speed buff while performing a dodge. So if you know how to jump dodge, you can actually just gain full benefit from your dodge while getting an insane forward momentum. Because here's the thing, if you actually have a lot of movement speed buff and you perform a dodge, you're going to see that the Shadowhunter kills the movement speed. But if you actually do a jump dodge, you're going to see that you're barely losing any movement speed whatsoever while just maintaining all of the movement speed buff. If you know how to do it, you're going to see an insane movement speed increase on this character. And that's pretty much essentially everything. Why is it so important? That's why I'm so sad as a Knight main, because the dodge on the Knight is so terrible. Because I use the dodge a lot, and that's why I really do like the Shadowhunter, because the dodge feels so good on this character. The character just feels good all around. Even pre-patch, like right now, it just feels so good to use. And yeah, that's essentially the gist of it. You can actually just test out yourself with some of the other characters in terms of like the jump dodging or whatever you want to call it. That you can just use that to with your character to see if it actually does work out. Obviously, do not try that out with the Knight. I've already tried that so many times, and it's so difficult to actually just get a really good forward momentum. Like, look at this. This is so sad. Look at the Knight dodge just in a nutshell right there. Full movement with equipment, no problem. Just dead. Like, you can actually just do like a couple of extra jumps and you are going to get a little bit of extra movement speed forward. So, I mean, I guess you can kind of try it out with the Knight, but I personally do not recommend it. But either way, you can try it out with every single character, see if it actually does work out. But on the Knight, it's unfortunately so bad because it's the worst dodge in the game. So you cannot get anything worse than this one. So pretty much every single character, you're going to see good benefits from jump dodging. And in the case of the Neon Ninja, jump dodge and jump shadow flipping, insane combination right there. Anyways, that's going to be everything for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around as always. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and let me know if this actually did help you out. With all that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and keep on hunting. Yeah.